I work for a charity called Butterfly Conservation, and I previously have worked with Bumblebee Conservation Trust. So I've always worked closely with insects, and I got into those by first doing my degree in biological sciences, and then I did a master's degree in ecological management. And at both levels, then I studied insects and I did my dissertations upon them. So you can really say that I've had insects throughout my learning career, but then I also volunteered with Bumblebee Conservation Trust before I got a job with them. And a typical workday for me is quite varied, and that's really important for me because I like the variety. And some days I can be out working with volunteers to create habitats for butterflies and other insects, and that can be making meadows in urban areas or going out into more wild places to manage the habitats there. Other work can be training the volunteers to identify and record insects, and that can be running large events or attending large events to enthuse the public about them. So it's quite varied, and I think that really is important for the kind of work that I'm in. At school, I was quite studious. I always loved biology, even though I did study a wide range of other different subjects. I did keep coming back to biology, and I knew that was really important for me. I really liked to be outside when I was at school, so it was really important for me that we did field trips and got out to do practical work. Couldn't have done my career without having done my A level in biology for a start. That was really important for me because I couldn't have done my degree without having that A level to begin with. But I'd also recommend doing any other kinds of sciences too, because there are so many skills that you can learn in them that you can use in many different types of work. I think I choose mostly useful A levels, even though not all of them are directly applicable to my career on a daily basis. Some of them are come up in surprising different ways. So I studied business studies and sociology as well as biology for my A levels, and they can be really useful whenever we're looking at doing different marketing campaigns, for example, or just working with different people. Whenever you do sociology, for example, you get to know how society works in some different ways, and I can use that when I go to advertise my events or to run my events. But I think overall, I think doing biology was one of the most important steps for me. Within my job, some of the most important transferable skills are things like working as teams and good communication. I think those are underrated, and I think they need to be made more of in schools because almost all of my work requires me working with lots of other different colleagues to make things happen. So I definitely get to working together on projects. I think is really very important. My best piece of advice for young people choosing their careers is to do something that you love. For me, working in nature conservation has always been a dream. I couldn't imagine doing anything else. And I think just do something you love and you'll never have that Monday morning feeling. And it's really important that you think about that now because the decisions you make now could last for a long time. So definitely, do something you really love to do.